Hello folks, welcome back to Peachy's place. As you can see, we're inside today, using a mate's garage, and around the back of the bike there, I've even managed to secure a paddock stand for the day, which is awesome because it actually comes with the supports to hoist the bike up from under the swing arm. So because I don't have the bobbins, that's a very, very handy little thing to have. So I'm going to begin this video by saying thank you very much to my friends Dennis and Christian for letting me use his garage. It's a lot easier to do this inside, and Dennis for the use of his paddock stand. And as I've mentioned before on a couple of my videos, it's the area that I live. We've got a few really good people around here, and you know, we all work together, we help each other out, and that's the way it should be. You know? What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be tackling the forks. You may recall after my little incident, I said that the forks were quite severely twisted, and it made the bike unrideable. Now, I think the handlebars are fairly straight there. That looks fairly straight. It's kind of hard to say because the ignition barrel's all crooked anyways, but it looks fairly straight. So if I come around to the front of the bike again and have a look, and it is indeed off to one side. The wheel goes that way. So I'm going to be loosening all that up, getting my wheel straight again, and a couple of other jobs that need to be done as well. So stick around, stay tuned, and keep watching. Right, what I need to start off by doing, or what I've started off by doing, show you quickly, is I put this metal plate under here. This is a bit of the Holt's exhaust repair kit that I used the other day on the exhaust, which there it is in the daylight, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, surprisingly the tie wraps have held. How they've held, I don't know. A couple of them melted and popped off, but the rest seem to have held. How? I have no idea. But it doesn't really matter because it didn't do what I wanted it to do, or what I was hoping it would. So that's another job I'm going to be tackling later on. So I had this bit of metal sheeting left over that I cut off. I've slipped this under the wheel, and that just helps to slide the wheel to pivot it on its axis. It's going to make life an awful lot easier. Okay. Up under here, there's your top clamp. Right. There's so many names and ways of saying what this bit is. Right. I prefer the word clamp. All this triple tree, triple this, triple that. I don't know. It makes no sense to me, and there's so many different ways of saying it. I'm just going to say clamp, keep it easier. Okay, so when I say clamp or triple clamp, this is what I'm talking about. So we don't want to undo that. We want to leave that one in place, and there's a bolt for it up under there. Alright, we want to leave that in place. If we take that off, the handlebars are going to shoot up through. Actually, I don't know if they will on this one, but anyways, yeah, we're leaving that in place. We're leaving the top one in place, and what I want to be doing is getting down and dirty in there and taking all of that off. Right, now I think that's going to be an awful lot easier to get to if I take the fairing off. I've got the time today, so I'm going to do that next. Okay, doesn't look like I've done much yet. In fact, I haven't. But by the time you get in and you take all the inside bits out, it's quite time consuming, but it's definitely worth doing, and it's quite simple. Imagine you've got the inside fairing there, right? You've got a bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, and a couple more on the sides. This is where your little toolkit is on this particular model. Your toolkit sits here. There's you open that. There's a screw inside the little tray there. That's got to come out as well. All right. So mounting bracket there. You just take it all off. Okay. Now, as you can see, in doing that, it's got me a lot better access to my forks, and that's going to make life an awful lot easier for loosening everything up and resetting the forks properly. So that's the next job. Now what I need to do is try and find a way to mount the camera so I can do this two-handed. Okay, scrap that idea. That's not going to work because you won't be able to see very much, and even if you do, it's going to take me a while to unbolt everything, and I'm not going to film the whole lot because I'll run out of battery and I won't be able to finish filming the stuff I want to film. So this is the first thing that we want to loosen here. It's quite dark, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this later on when I upload the video. There's two bolts on there, alright? Two identical bolts on the other side. They're the first lot that have to come off. Once you come down from there, the next thing down, right, what we want to do is everything below this line, and I mean everything, wants to get loosened up, just loosened up, right, to release the grip on the forks so that we can work them back into the natural position. Remember, when these bikes are made and everything's put together, the forks are designed to only go one way. There's only one way that they're meant to go. So as long as you just loosen it up, when you come to resetting them, everything's going to go back in exactly the way it's supposed to. So we want to loosen everything from this line downwards, and the first thing is these clamps here. Then we come down and it's basically loosening off everything around here. Okay, I'm going to crack on with that. Back in a minute. Okay, so I've pretty much finished loosening everything off. Now I've come down to the axle. Alright, I loosened these two off there, and same on the other side. Now we need to get into the axle, and I don't actually have anything big enough to fit in there, but I've measured it with a spanner, and that is a 12mm sized nut hole, i.e. you can fit a 12mm nut in there. I can't believe I'm in a garage and can't actually find a 12mm nut. So what I've done is I've improvised, and this is something that I learnt off Delboy's garage. In fact, I learnt how to do the whole lot of Delboy's garage. So thank you very much, Del, for that video. But this in particular I thought was a really cool trick. What he did was he got a nut, he slipped it in there, and with a spanner he cracked the axle open. Well, he loosened the axle off. What I'm doing is very similar in idea. It's a little bolt there. And that would be perfect if it didn't have this little rim. And I can't find anything else other than loads of these. What I'm going to do, pop that in there with a pair of grips. I'm going to clamp onto that quite and just rotate the axle. Okay, so the forks all loosened off now. Get up on the bike, feet up on the foot pegs, put some weight over the handlebars, pushing down directly over the forks. Pushing down as the forks come down an angle like that. I'm not pushing down like that to push them upwards, straight down in line with the forks. To get them to comply and fall back in place. Really need to get some weight up over them. Let's see. Let's check that tyre. I think that's going to do it. Alright, that's it. I'm pretty satisfied. I've lined the wheel up, given it a bit more of a bouncy bounce. I got right up onto the tank because I'm only a featherweight myself. So I've gotten right up and actually sat on the fuel tank. I wouldn't recommend it, but that's what I've done to give myself the extra weight. And I've gotten right up over the top clamp, right, and putting all my weight down on it. And it lines up pretty good. The mudguard doesn't seem to line up perfectly, but I think that's just the mudguard. I think it's just plastic and it's old and paint. But everything else, I've lined the handlebars up. They're dead straight, dead centre. The wheel looks dead centre in relation to the rest of the bike. So I'm happy with that, and I'm going to call this one a job done. I've got a few other jobs to do. I'll be shooting those in separate videos. So until next time. Thanks for watching, safe riding, and don't forget, you can do it too.